I can't say that I've ever seen a bicycle seat like this. It's called the Ergonomics Road Mountain Bike Comfortable Healthy Saddle. Let's just get right into it. So what is this and what does it do? Well, it's supposed to be an ergonomic saddle. In their words, the seat surface is dynamically linked according to the trajectory of human riding motion, which not only does not relieve the force, yeah, it's badly translated. Look, this doesn't look very subtle. It moves around a lot, and it was $140. Now, to their credit, the quality of the actual material seems pretty good, but why would this be better? I have got to try this and see what it's all about. $140, that really hurt. Let's see if the saddle hurts though. I don't feel it moving at all. Is it moving? Yeah, it for the most part doesn't move. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. This is a total dud. It doesn't even move the way it's supposed to. Like, not only does it move up and down, but the actual butt cheeks like go back and forth like in a circular motion, but pedaling it doesn't actually make it do that. It's $140, need I remind you. And I thought maybe I could find it cheaper somewhere, but then when I thought of what I would have to type into Google, like twerking bicycle saddle or something, I just didn't want it in my search history. Look, those of you who watch my channel know I review the silliest products and I try to take it seriously. Like, I try and look at who is this actually designed for? Is it actually benefiting someone? This is designed for people who know nothing about bicycles, created by people who know nothing about bicycles, and perhaps they know nothing about mechanical engineering or human anatomy either, because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and why would that make it better? This is perhaps the dumbest product I've ever reviewed on my channel ever. It's less comfortable than a normal bicycle seat because it just stays like this and then it doesn't move. I have to actually move my body and shift my weight around to actually make it do what it's supposed to do. And I know I sound like a broken record saying this over and over again, but why would that make it better? Here's what happens. So people who don't ride bicycles a lot, all of a sudden they ride a bicycle for the first time in 30 years. They get themselves an e-bike. They go out on the greenway and they're like, man, my butt hurts. Yeah, it hurts because you haven't been on a bicycle in 30 years. Do it a few days in a row and it'll stop hurting. But instead, they just start like duct taping pillows to their saddles and getting bigger and bigger ones. That's gonna make it worse. Don't buy this stuff, especially not for 140 bucks. I did, but well, it's to show you how stupid it is. The seat surface is dynamically linked according to the trajectory of human riding motion, which not only does not relieve the force, but also reduces the reaction force between the hips and the seat cushion. Ready to send. Ready to send. It's like they copy and pasted this from like ChatGPT, right? It was writing it for them and then it closed it out with like ready to send and they just pasted that part in too. It's usually a good sign. Okay, next product. This is a tail light that is also a bike tire pump and digital gauge. Let's just see what this is all about. That actually seems like it would be cool because it performs two functions that you kind of need on a bike, especially if you're taking that bike out on the road. Decent build quality. This is promising. Okay, so it's like the size of one of those little compact pumps. Hold this, it should turn on. Ooh. Okay, bright tail light, that's awesome. And now we have the pump functionality, and you can see it's set to 100 PSI. We can probably bring that down a little bit. Wow, the buttons feel really good quality. This is $58.99. Some tail lights cost that much. I gotta say, if this works, pretty cool. Let's try it. So for the heck of it, we'll inflate the pigeon, but does it do Schrader? Yes! There's a little Schrader adapter and they give you a little hose. I like these because it's easier to put the Clik adapter on. Take this little guy, screw it on there, let's turn it on. I mean, if you've used one mini pump, you've kind of used them all. This seems actually kind of quick. Nice. So no drama there. We got the thing inflated. It looks like you could even mount it to the bike and just leave the hose on it. Look at that, the thread for the hose is Schrader, which means I can just natively put a Clik adapter in there as primary, and then you just press it on and it's a Clik pump. Very cool, gets even bigger marks from me. Okay, so to actually mount this to the back of the bike, you can see they give you this little mount for the seat tube. And if I hold this down, it turns on. I mean, what's to not like about this? I can just turn it, it unlocks, and now I can use the pump, and now I can put it right back on my bike. It's like they designed it for people to actually use it. Okay, it's hard to say anything bad about this. It's $58. It's a nice build quality. It looks okay. It's transparent. You can see the little motor in there and everything. My one complaint, this little USB-C cover, once you get it in, it stays there, but you really have to finagle it. Like, it's not the greatest. I feel like that's kind of important because it's gonna be out there on the back where your tire's kicking up grime, but other than that, this thing is kind of a home run. Good price and everything. I'm gonna give this to someone. I kind of want to keep this, actually. I was on a big dumb ride with Eric Porter, and we got done so late that we had to ride road in the dark back to the truck. And I could have used this. I brought an e-pump with me. This is two things that you bring with you at a fair price, and it looks like it's good quality. The only thing I can't tell you for sure is whether it lasts a long time, but for $58, it's almost worth trying. So, cool product. Gear Floss by Finish Line. How did I not know this existed? Like dental floss for your gears, or for when you're cleaning your bike and you have to get into a tight space. Some people use pipe cleaners or roll up a rag or something. You can stick this floss in there and really get to it. Is it a ripoff and does it work? Well, let's check it out. Okay, so before we test it, I'll just describe it. It's a very soft, like very specific kind of rope that you would not find at the hardware store. And I'm calling it rope because it is like a lot of strands twisted together, and it's got little shoelace ends over here. So it costs $9.99 and there are 20 of them in there. And so if you use this for a detailing job, that's 50 cents. 3/8 rope is like 30 cents a foot or something. And so it's actually not a ripoff. You have these nice little ends. You have the perfect type of rope that I guess they tested. This seems really fair and it looks like it would work. Is this the day that like my life changes? I'm gonna go and try and clean my pivot. So point of comparison would be a rag, right? So let's say you're in a really tight space that you wanna clean with a rag. So we have behind here, I can get the rag in there and it does a pretty good job of it, but if we go someplace tighter, like back here, if you've ever tried doing this with a rag, it starts to become pretty tricky, and sometimes you need to like tear off smaller pieces of rag to get in there. This, it's super nice with the little handle. Wow, okay. What about in here, like right around the bearing? Let's do it lightly so I don't just push it in there. I mean, like, wow. Okay, I can get around to this side. Look at all that stuff that's on the string, and it just looks squeaky clean in there. Let me try the gears, just like they were saying. You can get into a cassette like this. Wow, I really like the material they made this rope out of. Okay, so I can see one little problem. If you don't put it on carefully, you can definitely get the string caught up in the gear, but yeah, once you get it in there, you can move the string around to different places. So if you tried to just take a normal piece of rope and feed it through something like that, this little guy right here is gonna help you a lot. So the fact that these shoelace ends are on this just make it a better product overall. It makes it better than just rope by the foot. You can kind of do all sorts of detailing jobs on your bike with this. Any tight space this can fit into. You can tell they put some thought into what material they chose. It's not a ripoff. If you are a bike shop and you're charging somebody like $150, $200 deep cleaning, 50 cents to get in there easier and save time, I think this is a winner. Damn, that's cool. So in my workshop, I have bicycles up on the wall, hanging from the ceiling. I have them down here on the ground. I'm always looking for new ways to store bikes. This next product, I'm either going to melt down for material or buy 5 more of. I don't know yet. It's a rolling bike stand. As you can see here, it's holding a Levo. This is like 50 something pounds. The casters are good. It seems pretty secure. Like if you knock into it, it's gonna roll hopefully rather than flip over. I think I might like it, but it's not perfect. So I'll start by showing you how it works. Here's the stand, and you can see there's the wheel cradles down here, and that's where the seat post goes. So you take the bike standing straight up, you get the wheels into the cradle, and then you just flip it back onto the seat post, which is super easy peasy. Now, we have a few issues here. First of all, you could just push it out of here, and it's gonna plummet to the ground. And also, the front wheel just kind of flops around, which is not that big of a deal. Now, they did attempt to solve both of these issues with these here straps. Now, the first strap, this long one, this is designed to keep the front wheel straight. And so you flip the tire around like this, and then you put that around the down to, oh, and it doesn't reach. They could have added like a little bit more strap so that it worked for mountain bikes, but they didn't. Okay, so what's the other strap for? Well, the other strap is to hold the saddle down. And so, oh, it doesn't have the little buckle at the end. They forgot to include that one with this one, so there's just a loop. Okay, so we'll just wrap it around. Actually, it kind of works like that. Yeah. Okay, so it's not perfect, but even if you just put the bike in the stand and the wheel flips around, what did this thing cost? $37.99. How can I complain about this? I'll get my own freaking strap. I'll use a piece of gear floss or something to hold this together. This is amazing. And like I said, the casters are of not that bad a quality. I think they're better than my tripod dolly, actually. Today, we're just finding some winning products. Again, not perfect, definitely some problems with the straps, definitely some little things we have to work out here, but if I had all my bikes lined up over here like this, like look at what happens if I have to take out my Revel Ranger. I pull it back from here, so the pedal is getting caught on this bike, and I'm getting caught on bikes. Bring this back, and then I sneak it around here. If all my bikes were just vertical and I can just roll them around, first of all, there would be less of a footprint here, and I think it would be easier to finagle it in and out. For certain use cases, this is pretty cool, but like I said, I still haven't really decided how I feel about it. Yes, if you hit into the bike, it's gonna roll, but do I trust it that much? I have like a 2-year-old stomping around here sometimes. I want things to be secure. I don't want them to fall over. And so for $37.99, it's not that big of a risk. It seems to be really functional and it can work for someone, and it's only gonna cost you $37.99 to find out. So this is the Wheels Manufacturing Hooten Hauler. I'll show you what it does. So you remove your bottle cage and you install the base underneath it. And then it comes with this little mud scraper cassette cleaner thing. This is not really meant to be the product. This is the product, the interface. They give you the 3D files for it. They give you step files, STL files that you can use to model your own thing and 3D print it. So this is not gonna be for everyone. It's gonna be for people with 3D printers. They even modeled a few things for you that you can just download and print, like that little stash tube and a CO2 holder, and this interface is on both sides. So I model the holder for an electric pump. This little guy right here, and you can see there's the Hooten Hauler interface, just clips on right here, and then I have a holder for my pump. That would never come out. That would be impossible. It's actually in there pretty good. Now, my one criticism of this is that the little interface, it doesn't have that big of a lip. So you're riding around on a mountain bike really hard. I could see how it could actually come undone. You might want to just model your files so that there's a really sharp crease there so it engages well. But I think it's well thought out. I think it's really easy to model. I'm also working on a hard-boiled egg holder for mine. And honestly, something like this, I'm gonna just shout out and like no matter what, because you know I like maker stuff where you're making things at home. You know I like 3D printing, and you know I like Wheels Manufacturing because they're not just pushing out a new incrementally better bike every year. They're making things that people need, like derailleur hangers and tools. And this is near and dear to my heart. It is open source. They are letting people create for it. They're creating a platform that everybody can use. Now, it's worth noting, you could probably 3D print like a Hooten Hauler by yourself, but this one's injection molded. It's a little bit stronger. This interface, this piece, is going to be the part that's just going to constantly get beat on, and so it is good to have one that's injection molded and super strong and everything like that. Now again, I don't know if I'm going to use it because I'm so deep into this stuff, I probably just print my own interface, but it is nice now that if I make something, I could make something and put it out there and know that other people are going to be able to just clip it onto their bike. This interface is basically just a little U, right? It's just a rectangle with the little piece cut out of it. It's really, really simple. And I think they did that on purpose so that it would be easy to print and that it would be easier to get people on board with this interface, right? If you're a beginner and you're just using Tinkercad, you can download this file, you can import it, and then you can just stick it onto something you want to mount to your bike. And that doesn't take a lot of 3D modeling experience at all. And so I think it's a cool thing. It's $15. Are people going to use it? I don't know, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Open sourcing it and making a product that encourages people to make their own stuff, I like that. So, Hooten Hauler starter kit. All the step files are available on their website. I think this is pretty cool. Wheels Manufacturing always makes some pretty interesting things, and this is no exception. Definitely a step in the right direction. Those of you who ride with your kids know that it's awesome until it's not. They'll just stop riding and they'll be like, yep, you gotta carry me, you gotta carry my bike, and you're like, well, how am I supposed to do that? And they're like, I don't know, I'm a 2-year-old. That sounds a little bit like your problem. And now you're just stuck out on the bikeway or in the woods trying to carry your kid and your bike and their bike. That's what this product is for. The Kids Ride Shotgun Uplift Backpack. Now, as you can see, it's just a good backpack. You have a mesh area over here, you have storage space on the inside, but then, so you can see there are these little mounts, but also holes so that you can move the mounts around for different balance bikes. I'm gonna use Benny's balance bike. So, put it here, strap it on, and then the backpack just flips back down over the bike, and you fasten the buckles, and now you just gotta deal with the kid. How was I living without this? This is kind of amazing. You barely even feel that it's there, and it's honestly pretty quick. And you know they want to be on the bike, off the bike. Can tighten this. Let me pedal around here. I know what I'm doing this week. I think me and Benny are gonna go for a ride. And I'm not gonna have that anxiety knowing he's just gonna stop. Those of you who know me know that I built like a custom Surly big dummy that I can carry bicycles on. But the problem is, then I need to ride my Surly big dummy. It's fine, I love it on the greenway, but if we're out in the woods or anywhere where you want like, I don't know, not a cargo bike, but this is like kind of a perfect solution. What does this thing cost? So this is $129. I'm honestly not surprised. I mean, how many people are actually gonna buy this thing? They're gonna have to make it in small quantities. The backpack itself is of decent quality. It's not like Osprey or like Peak Design level, but it's good enough to do the job. And this part is extremely well thought out. It's lightweight. This thing is not a lot to carry around. You got enough to worry about with carrying the balance bike. It breathes super well. You can see there's this pad on the lower and upper part, and then this part is just completely open, keeping the balance bike away from you. Like, really, really well thought out. And the fact that Kids Ride Shotgun made it so you could mount other balance bikes that are not their brand, no matter how weird the shape is, that's a really nice touch. And so I think for a narrow sliver of the population that really likes riding balance bikes with their kids, and they want a backpack like this, and kind of a DIY solution is not gonna cut it, this is pretty dang good.
Okay, I'm over here talking. Can you hear me?
Next, these are from Gapasy. And their sunglasses, we've reviewed a lot of smart glasses and they're all terrible. These are not smart glasses. These are deeply stupid. And in this case, that's actually a really good thing, which is why I'm reviewing them. I admire what this company did. What these are, see, it comes out of the charging case, you turn it on, you put it on, and then you hear a little guitar chime in your ears. And then the other rider takes these out, they put them on, and they hear a little guitar chime. And then as long as you are tuned to the same frequency, you can hear each other. Okay, there's no smartphone app. There's no nothing. If you've ever been on a big group ride where there's a leader out front and there's somebody taking up the tail and then somebody gets a flat, there's no way to like communicate. You're trying to take out your cell phone and talk. They can be in perfect communication with each other. You can be in communication with your riding buddy and you don't know that you dropped them because they had a technical or something. This is so cool. I don't know about the styling and the color or whatever. It's not really my thing. But the fact that they made smart glasses and they didn't make them smart is admirable. These are really more made for road, but you could use them on mountain. App free, half a mile in open environments. So these are not super long range. It's for somebody that you're riding with, right? You can like basically see them. Okay, wait a minute. Signal boost technology, extended range up to 3 miles via app with cellular signal. Okay, so they get you in by having them just work instantly when you take them out of the box. And then there is some kind of an app that you don't have to use. So that's fine with me, but why wouldn't it be unlimited range with a cellular signal? If it's a cellular signal, I don't understand, but they're not making you use the app. It just works and it just turns on and works. That's good. And they are priced at $198. And no matter what I do, no matter what I look at, I can't tell whether that's for the pair or for one set of glasses. But when I look here, it looks like they're talking about a pair. Got some kind of red dot award. Even if it is $198 per set of glasses, they appear to be of good quality. They have Zeiss lenses, and it looks like it's prescription ready. You can actually get prescription lenses for it. I'm just flabbergasted that somebody made this. Why wouldn't you rip the people off and make them sign up for an app and take all their information? Okay, so I have my Gapasy sunglasses on, and now you're gonna put these on. Hey, do you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
I do. I hear you loud and clear. Next up, the Roto Luber. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten products that promise to lube your chain. Let's see what they've got here. Ooh, this looks 3D printed, but this is a very good quality 3D printed part. Like somebody really knew what they were doing here. What does this thing do? How does this lube your chain? Okay, there's two little things with nuts inside. These, not sure what these are. I think we're gonna have to read the instructions. Okay, so they give you 2 bottles, and these little rubber guys, that's actually just a stand for the bottle so it doesn't fall over. And the nut inside is a mixing nut. I mean, I don't actually shake or mix my lubricant, and so that's a new one to me. Maybe I should start doing that. So you put some chain oil in there. Good stuff. Okay, we have more than enough in there. We've got our mixing nut in there. That's nice. This screws on here. And then I watched the video. They made it a little bit more complicated than it has to be. Let me show you how it works. So they're saying, count the crank rotations until you see your master link again. You guys have all lubed the chain before. You lube it until it has enough lubricant on it. Okay, so the way this works is you place this over the chain, you place this under it, and then you backpedal while squeezing the bottle to modulate how much fluid goes on it. And honestly, it works pretty dang well. Very nice. Do what we normally do. Maybe if I really modulated my squeeze, I wouldn't even have to wipe off the excess. I mean, that works nice. Can't you just take the bottle and squeeze it onto the chain too? Okay. It works perfectly. It works really, really nicely. It's very well designed. You have this nice little squeeze bottle here and everything. It's $40. Is it worth it? For me, probably not. Before I find where I put my Roto Luber, I'm probably just gonna squeeze some oil on the chain and wipe it off. But I see the appeal here. They have this little holder, it sits on your bench top, and it's just always ready to go. It's got the oil in there. You just pull it off. Now you don't have to get your hands all dirty. One hand is on the pedal, the other hand is here. And now you just lube your chain and you put this back. You're not touching the greasy little thing, oil or rags or anything like that. It's kind of sanitary and it's kind of nice. It's also worth noting that back here, you can actually adjust the flow. They give you a flow adjuster here. Looking at it very closely, there's like a lot of design considerations went into here. There's little tiny holes in the roto part that goes on the chain that the oil comes out of. Like, I am just flabbergasted by how well designed this thing is and how well it works. I just can't figure out whether I actually need it. I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna leave this out on my workbench and then see whether I reach for it, because I actually wanna give this a chance. You can't even see how it's all curved down there, cradling the egg.